In the last book's cliffhanger, America decided she would do whatever it takes to win Prince Maxon's heart. That means seduction. She wears an outfit which shows a scandalous amount of skin, and when she kisses him, she moves his hands to a suggestive location. Maxon laughs loudly because it's so completely out of character for her. America never tries to be sexy again.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
The other women stare at some hot guards exercising. America mentions she's seen Maxon without his shirt on, so they all compare notes on how far they've gone with Maxon. Which is not very far, because this is a PG-rated series. The most Maxon has done is kiss girls and have a hot makeout session with Celeste. The four women get into a big fight. Queen Amberly says they should get along, because the friendships they'll form here will last a lifetime. Funny, my high school said the same thing. Two northern rebels appear in the castle. They are Georgia Whitaker and August Ilya. August is secretly related to Maxon. He's willing to cut a deal. They'll help defeat the violent southern rebels in exchange for nominated officials and an end to the caste system. To prove he's on board with the secret plan, all Maxon has to do is marry America. Which is what he wants to do, but he doesn't want to do it because the northern rebels are in the Maxon America fan club. The rebels say they've got a secret second option. Well, it's not very secret now, is it? The secret northern rebel is Chris, although we don't learn this until the end of the book when it doesn't really matter anymore. America's love life goes bad for a while. She and Maxon have a fight, she sees him getting romantic with Chris, and King Clarkson humiliates America by taking away her family's funding. The southern rebels attack people and cause a nationwide panic. On TV, America tells people to fight back against the rebels. America's popularity explodes as a result. Celeste starts crying because her life will be awful if she loses. America convinces Celeste that things aren't so bad, and now they're best friends. They laugh over all the crazy things Celeste did in previous books. Remember how she spilled a drink on someone's dress? Ha ha! Typical Celeste! I did not like the Celeste storyline. Celeste hospitalized multiple people and she beats her maids regularly. And yet, after one conversation, Celeste completely changes personalities. All the women stop competing and become best friends who give each other makeovers for fun. This change of heart happens way too suddenly for me to believe it. There's a romantic scene where Maxon takes America to the roof. They dance in the rain, and she realizes she truly loves him forever. America and Maxon sneak out of the castle to meet the northern rebels. The rebels say things are bad. They're losing the war since they don't have weapons and the southern rebels do. It's such a one-sided war, I am amazed it didn't end decades ago. On the way back to the palace, some villains recognize America. They shoot her in the arm. Her maids remove the bullet and sew up the wound. Maxon and America drop Aspen off at his room. Maxon sees that Aspen has a love letter from America. Luckily, he doesn't recognize the handwriting. He makes a few comments about how Aspen's a lucky guy who shouldn't let that woman go. Naturally, this makes Aspen quite upset. American and Maxon are surprised when they realize they still haven't said I love you to each other. Neither one wants to be the first one to say it, so they dance around the topic for about 100 pages, saying things like, how do you feel? And, oh, you mentioned love. Anything you want to say? The palace has a grand tea party. Everyone gets to invite 2 guests. Several readers pointed out a continuity issue, which is that Celeste's guests are both musicians in the 2 cast. Only 5s are allowed to do music. We've been told this over and over again, that music is only for low-level people like America. So how are there high-level musicians? America's 2 guests are Georgia the Rebel and the Italian Princess. They make a plan for Italy to provide weapons to the rebels. I can't believe they made this plan during a party with the royal family. How did no one overhear them? Maxon gives America expensive jewelry, and there's an event called the Convicting. All the women are expected to hand down harsh punishments to criminals. King Clarkson sets America up for failure by having her give a life sentence to a man who stole clothes. America uses her fancy jewelry to pay for the clothes and erase the man's debt. King Clarkson is furious and he tries to cancel the princess competition. America feels insecure when the king mentions a French princess. Maxon assures her the French princess means nothing to him. If she mattered, he would have been honest and told her about it. Just like how she'd tell him if she was secretly kissing her ex-boyfriend, or, oh. King Clarkson is furious again when he learns the Italians love America. He orders America to make propaganda videos for him. America refuses to say she loves Maxon, because she can't say I love you for the first time in front of the king. That's just awkward. Maxon gets mad at her because she didn't say I love you. America says she doesn't have all his love as he divides it up into slices to all the women. He admits she's right and tries to make it up to her. The love story is interrupted when America's father dies. She goes home for several chapters where she has family drama with her mean older brother, who has never appeared before in the series. She reads a long letter from her dad, which reveals he was secretly a Northern rebel. When she returns to the castle, America is surprised to learn Maxon ended the competition. He's decided to marry her. They kiss hungrily and say, I love you a lot. But when she tries to tell Aspen, Maxon walks into the room. He's furious to learn America's been secretly dating someone else the whole time. Maxon can't let America break his heart again, so he tells her it's over. He's going to marry Chris instead. I really like this drama, and I wish it had occurred 50 pages earlier instead of 20 pages before the end. America's heart is broken when she reads some love letters that Maxon wrote for her. She tries talking to him again at the official choosing ceremony, but he's still mad. He refuses to change his mind. That's when the Southern rebels attack. Maxon is shot in the shoulder, which makes him realize he can't live without America. The king and queen are killed in the attack, so now there's no one standing in the way of their relationship. Maxon's first order as king is to dissolve the caste system. He gives America a wedding ring. We finish with a wedding where Aspen walks America down the aisle. Personally, I think giving that job to Aspen is a terrible idea. But what do I know? The end. Post-book follow-up. This book was okay. I liked the political drama, although not as much as the previous book. King Clarkson was not the major villain I expected him to be. He didn't do much to stop America, besides try to humiliate her on TV. Every time she made something up and became popular with the public, so it wasn't much of a danger. I'm surprised the king didn't do anything at all in the last third of the book. It could have been an entirely different book, with the king trying as hard as he could to defeat America. Similarly, I expected the other women in the competition to be more important to the story. Chris is secretly a rebel. That could have been a storyline which takes up multiple chapters. Instead, we get told all the women are friends now, and the others fade into the background for the rest of the book. Imagine how different the book would have been if the other women were actually trying to win the competition. The love drama was okay, but it could be better. America knows she's in love with Maxon fairly early on, but she never tells him or Aspen. She strings poor Aspen along for hundreds of pages. I can't help but think the book would be better if she told Aspen right away that their relationship is over. What if he turned bitter and threatened to tell the king? Instead, Aspen gets his own love triangle, which we don't find out about until the very end, making it really ineffective. America tries to set him up with one of her maids. That should have been a huge red flag to Aspen that his relationship with America was over. Well, it turns out he secretly has a thing for a different maid. He never told America about his secret girlfriend, for whatever reason. Aspen's love triangle ends when one of the maids is killed in the final battle. It's almost like the Southern rebels purposely killed everyone who stood in the way of our heroes getting a happy ending. Some critics say the ending is a lazy writer's trick to remove all the conflict without effort. I wouldn't go that far, but there is certainly an element of convenience when it comes to who dies. Celeste dies in the final battle too. That made me sad. Overall, I liked the book. I didn't like it as much as the others. I was expecting a lot more drama. I was expecting the king, Aspen, and the other women to get in the way of America and Maxon's relationship, But for the most part, they don't. I think it's an okay end to the trilogy, but it's probably the weakest book of the series. You could argue this should have been a two-part series, not a trilogy, and maybe that's right because the sequel series is only 2 books. I give the selection number 3, The One, a 7 out of 10.